Hey guys, it's Gina. Welcome to the place where your growth meets mine. There's a strange moment in life that nobody warns you about. The moment that you wake up and realize somewhere along the way, you, without even noticing it, you stop being the main character in your own life. It's like you become a side character. The most terrifying part is that you don't remember when it happened. You don't remember the exact moment when you stepped aside. And you just notice this version of you who had dreams, expectations, boundaries, standards. And all of these suddenly have been reduced to a quiet echo of what people needed to be. And the truth is, to lose yourself all at once. You lose yourself in tiny, almost invisible ways. You lose yourself in the moment that you say, it's okay, I don't mind, because you're afraid it will make you look demanding. You lose yourself when you stop asking for what you need. You lose yourself every time that you betray your own intuition to protect other people's comfort, because you put others in front of you, in front of yourself, of your own needs. And the saddest part is that people don't realize it's happening until they hit a point of emotional exhaustion, where their mind is screaming, have this life anymore, I can't be living like this anymore. But their habits are whispering, this is all you have ever known. We talk about losing others, losing a friend, a relationship, losing a pet, a chance, whatever. But no one talks about the heartbreak that you experience when you lose yourself. When you look at your own reflection and you feel like a stranger, you don't recognize yourself anymore. When life doesn't feel your life anymore, and desires become so unclear, you have spent them for so long living through other people's desires. And listen, I'm not saying this to sound like a motivational slogan or whatever the case. I'm saying this as someone who had to sit with themselves and realize that I had spent years and years negotiating my own identity for the sake of being accepted, understood, of being included, of being chosen. And you know what the scariest thing is? That those people I broke myself for actually never loved me because of it. They just expected more from me. They expected me to break myself even more, to lose my identity even more, because they were never satisfied. It was never enough for them. And I just kept living like that. I kept giving and giving and giving until I couldn't remember what it felt like to simply exist without bending. You cannot keep disappearing for people and expect to show up for yourself. It doesn't actually work like that, unfortunately. You can't save everyone while you are drowning. You can't give from an empty heart. You can't heal people while your inside is bleeding. You can't be everyone's emotional home while you sleep on the floor of your own life. And let's be honest for a moment. You know exactly who drains you. You know these things pretty well. You know exactly what's going on around you, but you still accept these things as normal because you don't have the courage to keep changing your life for the better. You know exactly who you feel small around, who makes your soul shrink, who benefits from your silence, who grows while you wither. This happens and you keep them in your life, but not because you don't see where the truth lies, but this happens because you're afraid of what life would look like if you finally let that go. But here's one thing that I really, truly wish you understand. You are meant to become while holding onto people who prefer a version of you who doesn't know their worth. Just a sad thing to say, right? But again, it happens pretty often, and it sounds normal when it does, right? While keeping relationships that are rooted in your past, you cannot heal, while staying loyal to people who love the broken version of you. You cannot find peace. You know this part is difficult and it's terrifying to choose yourself, because people will say it's selfish, or it will make you look strange, or your body shakes with guilt. But it's actually no, because you are choosing yourself and you are not selfish. It's called choosing what's best for you and your future self. The future self that one day is going to thank you for taking that decision. So remember that you are not here to be consumed or drained or to be available 24 hours a day for anyone except yourself. You have to be there for yourself. Even when nobody is standing there for you, you have to be there for yourself. You are your own responsibility. Your emotional inside is your responsibility. Nobody can enter here without your permission. So let them call you cold, let them say that you have changed, or that you look distant or selfish or this or that. Words are like the wind, it comes and it goes. So what remains is the truth that you have to realize right now, that you are hurting yourself by giving these people the best parts of you, leaving you empty in the end. And there is a version of you which is waiting for you, a version that doesn't shrink, that doesn't chase, that doesn't explain yourself. And that version of you will result in just one thing: your peace. And when you meet that version, when you finally come back home to yourself, when you stop giving this energy to everyone that's around you, or that you think it's important, then that is the perfect moment when you will start living the life that you deserve, that you and everybody deserves. Now this is the part where you return to yourself. Not dramatically, not loudly, but in a quiet, slowly way that doesn't feel wrong. Actually, it feels super right. And this is the moment when you decide to listen to your inner voice, to really listen. And that is going to make you unstoppable one day. Being alone, it's not the worst thing that can happen to you. Being surrounded by people who make you feel alone is far worse. This is a version of you that only exists only on the other side of the standards that you are afraid to set. A version that is calmer, stronger, sharper, more aligned, and a version that doesn't react out of fear, but responds out of clarity, and a version that doesn't chase, but chooses. A version that doesn't crumble when someone walks away, but recognizes that the distance is sometimes the universe protecting your future. And I want you to picture something. Imagine waking up one day and realizing that you don't take disrespect personally anymore, that you don't beg for love, that you don't internalize other people's mood, that you don't lose sleep over someone who would never lose sleep over you, that you don't adjust your standards based on who you want to keep, but based on who you want to become. Imagine that peace, imagine that self-control, imagine that quiet confidence that doesn't even need to be announced, because it's written in the way that you walk, in the way that you speak, in the way that you no longer bend for people who refuse to meet what you have stand for. So that version of you exists, but you cannot meet them with the standards that you have right now. And life is not punishing you, life is just there, simply waiting for your growth. You teach life that you prefer comfort over growth. You teach people that they can come and go wherever they want. You teach yourself that your needs are not negotiable and nothing changes, but The moment that you raise your standards, and I mean truly raise your standard, everything shifts. I promise you that everything will shift. Your energy will become clearer and your focus will become sharper. Suddenly, you don't chase anymore. You find yourself not begging, not tolerating. You simply exist in alignment with your own worth, and nothing that's not aligned with it quietly will leave. And I can assure you that that's the moment where you are going to fall in love with yourself. And yes, it hurts. It hurts to doubt yourself. Yes, people can be harsh, can be cold-hearted, dramatic, but because your new standards expose their old behavior. In the end, the life that you live is the life you tolerate. And the person you become is shaped by the boundaries that you enforce. So raise your standards, not because you want more from the world, but because you deserve more from yourself. Raise your standards because your future depends on it. The peace that you deserve is expensive and you cannot afford to lose it again. So raise them and let life finally raise with them again. Thank you guys so much for watching today's video. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe to my channel so it really helps my channel grow. And I will see you soon on the next video. Bye.